Namo tassa bhagavato arahato. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Okay. Today also we are going to continue with the Majjhima Nikaya 111 that talks about jhanas and ayatanas. The first four steps are called as jhanas, which we discussed on Wednesday. The next four, they are called as higher jhanas or ayatanas, as we can say. So as I told you, what are jhanas? They are the levels of understanding, the levels, and the levels of cessations. Remember these words, levels of cessation and levels of understanding. And Bhante Vimal has given us the core of everything till the end. That is 6 hours. So recognize that your mind has wandered. Release the attention from that distraction. Bring it back to your body. Relax. In the beginning, we have to relax on the physical body. Later on, it is at the mental level. In the beginning, he says tightness, tension, just relax, release. But simultaneously, we also have to learn to relax at the mental level. And again, come back to the object of meditation. So this relaxed step, we are cultivating. It is not easy to cultivate the relaxed step at all. We have to learn because whole life, or rather many lives, we are craving. That is very easy for us. Even craving for Nibbana is also very easy. We think that we want to crave, we want Nibbana. So we start craving for Nibbana also. But to relax, it is very difficult. And this is how what Bhante Vimal has emphasized more and more on relaxed step. And this is where it is different. TWIM is different from other meditations. So remember this word, relax. It goes till the end. Till the Nibbana, you have to learn to relax. Otherwise, Nibbana also runs away from you very fast. So what? And these are the levels of cessations. So in the first jhanas, we'll just revise. The first jhanas, what happened? Hindrances were seized. So all those 5 hindrances which you know, they were seized. In the second jhanas, the verbalization ceased. In the third jhana, the priti ceases. In the fourth jhana, when you come to the fourth jhana, bodily formation ceases. So now you're done with your bodily formations, the priti, the happiness, the comfort, everything are at the body level. But by the fourth jhanas, as you go into deep and deep levels of understandings, you dive into the levels of understandings, then the bodily formation also ceases. Your body becomes very light, or you don't feel any contact, very minor diminishing. The contact with your body diminishes, means you will feel the sound. It will not affect you. Or you'll feel the touch. Something is crawling on your body. But that will not affect you. It will not take away your attention. You will not react with any body itching or pain. You will just observe. So the level of equanimity was also increasing side by side as the levels of cessations are increasing. So bodily formation ceases. Your breath also diminishes. Very little breath, subtle breath. Good enough. So the contact with the breath or the understanding, that is very subtle, very subtle. So these things bodily gets, but now the mental formation. Now you are into mental formation. That is why it is called as arupa, means rupa, that is form, mentality and formation. That is nama and rupa. So the rupa gets diminished. And that is why we call this feeling only the humans can take. The human brain or the human mind can experience these jhanas or these levels of understandings. No other animal or this can experience this. So now, after this bodily formation ceases, after the fourth jhana, we then enter into ayatanas, that is called as higher jhanas or arupa, as you can call it as arupa. Now, Bodhi Bhikkhu has been translating what Sariputra has experienced. So he first told us about all these experiences. Now that he's entering into mental formations, and those experiences we will go through a little bit. I will try to explain them. Again, bhikkhus, with the complete surmounting of perceptions, of forms, with the disappearance of perceptions, of sensory impact, with non-attention to perceptions of diversity, aware that space is infinite, Sariputra enters and abided in the base of infinite space. And the states in the base of infinite space, the perception of base of infinite space, and the unification of the mind, the contact, feeling, perception, volition, that is formations, and mind means consciousness again, the zeal, the decision, energy, mindfulness, equanimity, and attention. These states were defined by him one by one as they occurred. Known to him, those states arose. Known they were present. Known they were disappeared. He understood thus, and with the cultivation of that attainment, he confirmed that there is in space of infinite or infinite space. After the fourth jhana, as I told you, your bodily discourse and your mind, the radiance, that now you are radiating loving kindness, right? So this radiance starts expanding. Expand. Now it has left the body. Your radiance with the 6 directions and then into all directions. The radiance starts expanding. The space is infinite. So you go into infinite space. The radiance, you cannot hold on to it anymore. It has gone into your head. And then you go to this practice of 6 barriers, I mean the breaking of barriers, and then start radiating loving kindness to all directions. And slowly this loving kindness, as it expands, it starts taking all the space. You cannot hold on to it. That is why it is called as infinite space. The radiance goes into infinite space, your mind, which is full of loving kindness. But then the energy of loving kindness, which was there in the beginning, that when you are giving loving kindness to yourself or to your friend, that energy, that excitement of loving kindness diminishes. And you start feeling, where is it gone? But actually, it diminished and your mind has become little more. Because now equanimity is also there. So the balance starts, the mind is getting balanced. So you go into compassion, which is a little milder, which is a little softer. There is less energy. But of course, there is equanimity and compassion. It is called as karuna. So there are 4 Brahma Viharas. First is Maitri, then Karuna, then Mudita, and Upekkha. It is loving kindness, compassion, then empathetic joy, and equanimity. So we are traveling, transcending all these levels of understandings, all these levels of experiences. Then you come into this compassion. Oh, see, this is so much spacious. Now you're not holding on to your body, so you become less selfish. You start feeling others. So there is a compassion towards others now. This is what Buddha used to do in the early mornings. He used to radiate compassion to all living beings. In the same way, even we start feeling the others suffering. Now people are suffering. Compassion is not like you take the suffering. You just show the path. Buddha showed, he was very compassionate. He showed the path. He went, he searched out the path come out of the suffering. And that is how this compassion is. That if you see someone suffering, you are there. You are there to support them. You are there to help them. You are there to teach them 6 hours. Because that is all what we can do. We cannot meditate for others. We cannot experience their suffering. We can help them out. We can support. And that is how it is. That is what is much more needed. It is said now, even in the aeroplane, when you're traveling, they say first give oxygen to yourself and then to others. If you are suffering, you cannot help others. So once we have started learning 6 hours and we are going into all these stages of understanding about life and about mind, we have to help others. And your mind automatically starts feeling to help others in their suffering. So this is compassion. Now the radiance of loving kindness has turned into compassion because it has gone everywhere. In loving kindness, we wish everyone happiness. And now we have started going a little more better. Now we have started understanding others' suffering. So your mind goes into compassion. That is an antidote towards cruelty. Whenever there's cruel thoughts, start radiating compassion towards yourself also and towards others. Even if you're having cruel thoughts, that means again you're also suffering. So first give compassion towards yourself and then to others. And this happens automatically. It's nothing. So when you started this infinite space, your Maitri has gone over there and turned into compassion. Then after supposing by 40 minutes or there you're into that 20, 30, 40 minutes, you're into that when you're directing to all directions, your awareness and this infinite space. Then what happens is the next step is infinite consciousness. Once you have there's a space, there is no dimensions, then it starts disintegrating. It starts disintegrating all that space. And then you can see the arising, passing very clearly. Everything gets disintegrated. And you see the arising, passing of every experience. Even if there's a sound, you will see that the sound is also not like coming directly. If there is something noise over there, you will see the consciousness, infinite consciousness. You will feel the arising, passing, every sound in every sensory objects. Even while there's a smell or there's a touch, you will feel that ants are crawling in your body. So even you will start feeling your own body, which is totally disintegrating, arising, passing even in your body, even in your mind. The thoughts will also arise, pass very fast, very fast. And you know that this is subtle consciousness, that you are conscious and everything you start, even a simple thought, it's just arise, pass. And many thoughts just come randomly and they arise and pass. And here also you will see that light is coming in your eyes also. There's arising, passing. That flash of lights coming, going, coming, going. That is the lightning things we think lightning ki, oh, there's a mala in India. It's just arising, passing. We think that the light is moving. No, everything is just arising, passing, and we think it is moving. It is not moving. It is just arising, passing. The same space. So this is what happens in the whole body also. We feel that everything is moving. All the vibrations are going down. No, it is just arising, passing. Your whole body is arising, passing. Subtle. When we go into that level, we do feel all these consciousness on the physical level. That is why it is called as infinite consciousness. You cannot count. It is just arising. It's just infinite, just happening on its own. Here also, we start feeling there is a release, because there is nothing to hold on to. Because there's a lot of lightness. Everything arises, passes, arises, passes, arises, passes. All the thoughts, there is nothing very strong. Everything has become very subtle. Your mind has become subtle. So with a very subtle mind, you can see this infinite consciousness. And when this happens, there's an empathetic joy. Now, this joy is different than Preeti. Preeti, which we experience at the second jhana, is different. Here it is more balanced, more steady, and you're relaxed with that joy. Now that you're seeing this arising, passing, and then in this stage also, we go through, we start understanding much better the three characteristics. That is impermanence, suffering, and impersonal things. Anitya, anicca, dukkha, and anatma. Anicca, that everything is so impermanent. Nothing is in your hand. You can see everything arising, passing, arising, passing, arising, passing. In everything, even if a frog croaks, or even if you see a mosquito flying, that is also arising, passing. It's very, very, everything. Now, this arising, passing, you come to see very fast. Then you realize, see, everything is so impermanent. Why I was craving? The insight starts. See the impermanence of everything. And when it is so impermanent, it is not satisfactory. That is suffering. We feel, here also we start feeling, oh, this arising, passing sometimes. You just cannot hold it. It's overwhelming. That is also suffering. And then you realize nothing is in your hands. I cannot do about anything. Anything. Otherwise, in mundane life, we think we are the ones. We are doing this. We are doing that. But we hardly realize that our physical body doesn't work according to us, only these hands and limbs, everything. But your heart is working, your kidneys are working, your liver is functioning without your control. It is doing its job. But we are least interested or least bothered. But when it comes to mentality, there also, because we used to think mentally we are very strong. I'm a very strong person. That's I am doing this, I am doing that. But when you go to that level and you come to know, here also nothing is there in my hands. Everything is arising, passing. Even if I want to go do this or do that, nothing is there. This realization is the true knowledge. You really come to know anicca, dukkha, anatma. We feel that our mind is at least in our control. But there this understanding comes, even our mind is also not in our control. Now the mind moves from empathetic joy to equanimity. Now we go to the suttas. So the first we read about this. Then the infinite space. Again, bhikkhus, by completely surmounting the base of infinite space, that the conscious is infinite. Sariputra entered upon and abided in the base of infinite consciousness. That is more refined joy. And as I told you, here the mudita comes. And the states in the base of infinite consciousness, the perception, the base of infinite consciousness, and the unification of mind, the contact, feeling, perception, volition, and mind. Volition is formations and mind. The zeal, the decision, energy, mindfulness, equanimity, and attention. See, all these things are very essential. These are the causes that the right type of conditions will come. So when we have to take efforts, efforts is every day. Energy is always there. Mindfulness, equanimity, and attention. These states were defined by him one by one as they occurred. Known to him, those states arose. Known they were present. Known they disappeared. He understood thus, and with the cultivation of that attainment, he confirmed that there is. So this individual consciousness that arises and passes at every sixth sense, or every sixth sense does, because even the mind thoughts also, they just arise and pass very randomly without. So this impermanence always go for suffering, because we want all the experiences, pleasant or unpleasant. Here though there are very pleasant experiences, but we cannot hold on to that. We feel that the pleasant experiences should continue. I should be into that stage, lifetime. but that also diminishes. When you always start craving, that is where again and again you have to do 6 hours. Relax. It will diminish. And here also he said that known they were present, known they disappeared. See how equanimous. They arise and they pass. So the pleasant experiences also arise and they pass. He understood thus, and with the cultivation of that attainment, he confirmed that there is. So here again, the mudita is there in this 6th jhana or ayatanas, 2nd ayatana, where I told you there's infinite consciousness and there's a joy which is much balanced. You start feeling. Again, bhikkhus, by completely surmounting the base of infinite consciousness, aware that there is nothing. What happens is, after you experience this infinite arising, passing, and suddenly it stops. Then there is nothing. Just nothing. You will feel that there is some blank space, or you feel that there's something white or blue or dark space in front. There's nothing. But it is still a signless. This sign, it is not signless. This is a sign. Nothing. There is nothing. Come. It is not a quiet mind, but there is nothing over there. Nothing means no thing. There is nothing is happening. There is no thing over there. Empty space. Here the equanimity has become very subtle. Very subtle. So this is the third. That is third ayatana. So this here your mind has become more. The equanimity has become very subtle. Even there will be arising, passing. Just arising, passing. But you are not affected towards it. So the reaction towards anything, your attention is very less towards other things. So nothing is happening over there. Here you have started sending the feeling of equanimity. You start radiating the feeling of equanimity in nothingness. Because there's nothing. Nothing. Because there's equanimous. Supposing the lights go, even in your house or you're working, everything is happening hush, push, hush, push. And totally there is blackout. What is there? Nothing. You cannot see anyone. So what happens? You're just doing nothing then. You're just sitting. What is it? If you react, by your reaction, light is not going to come. You just have to be equanimous. In my younger ages, most of the time the light used to go. So that was a very good time. And nothing we had to do. We just had to sit. No work to do. No homework to do. So at your childhood, when the light used to go, so you're very happy. So that is a thing. Nothing. Feeling of equanimity, you're sending it out. What happens is, the water is still, and if you put a pebble, equanimity starts radiating. After some time, again it becomes quiet. Again, you have to put the intention of radiating equanimity. Every time one small thing, and the equanimity starts radiating, because equanimity is so subtle that it doesn't want to move, but we have to do the radiation. You have to put the intention of sending equanimity everywhere, even if there is nothing. And then slowly, your mind doesn't want to move anymore. So now the mind doesn't want to do anything. After doing equanimity, radiating equanimity, there's nothing. So that is where you come to the next jhana, where we read. And in the states, in the base of nothingness, the perception, the base of nothingness, and unification of mind, the contact, feeling, perception, volition, and mind, the zeal, the decision, energy, mindfulness, equanimity, and attention. Your equanimity is there. These states were defined by him one by one as they occurred. Known to him, those states arose. Known they were present. Known they disappeared. he understood thus, and with the cultivation of that, he confirmed that there is. So in nothingness also, there are lot many chances that our mind craves for something because it wants one or the other experience to come. See, all these experiences coming from one jhana, this preeti is there, joy is there. So very happily going through first jhana, second jhana, all those things are happening, and our mind is very happy because lot many pleasant experiences are coming. Then there is a compassion is there. Then you have mudita. And when you come to this nothingness, this equanimity is there. So now we are radiating equanimity. This also becomes stops. How long? Our mind doesn't want to do anything. Then we go into neither perception or non-perception. That is the fourth ayatana. Here also in nothingness, everything is arising and passing, arising and passing. But your equanimity is very nice. You start feeling. Now in perception and non-perception, neither perception and non-perception. What is perception? As I told you, perception is, it is tied up with memory, recognition. So now you are recognizing that there is nothing. The space is blank. This you are recognizing. Okay, till now you are recognizing. So there was perception, till nothingness. After that, what happens is, when you go more deeper into that, then there's only awareness. There is only awareness. You're just aware. Now you're not recognizing that there's nothing, this is there, or this is there. So there is perception. When you say perception, when there was something happening in your life, you recognize. It comes with a memory. But here they are saying is there's neither perception nor non-perception. So you are not recognizing, there is no memory, and neither there is non-perception. Because there you're still into that stage. That is a gray stage, a little bit. So that stage where there is non-perception is there, non-perception. Means you're not recognizing, there is no memory also, and still it is not non-perception also. So this is a very subtle stage of the mind. Well, when will it come? When you are aware. It is not a quiet mind. It is not a quiet mind, is it? Because you're aware there is subtle arising, passing is there. So it is not non-perception also. Neither you are able to recognize what is happening. So that is neither perception, because you cannot recognize what is happening. Neither there is non-perception, because you are still aware, and whatever is arising and passing, you are seeing it. This is a stage where you have to learn to be more relaxed. That is why these relaxed steps come from the beginning. From the beginning, you have to learn to relax for every experience, because at this stage also there can be craving if you have not learned the 6 R's. Because once you go through this very subtle experiences, very pleasant experiences, there is bound to have craving, because the next sitting also we crave that we want such experience to come back. But if you have learned to do 6 R's, as Bhante has told us, then at this stage, when you will arrive at this stage, there will be no craving. So you will be more objective, more relaxed when this stage of neither perception and non-perception comes. Because the real work starts from here. Now you get boredom. Boredom, of course, boredom, because mind always wants some or the other things, because boredom is also there. Here, the boredom starts becoming more because mind wants something. And there we have to learn to relax. Nothing is going to happen. Just relax. Why crave? We are doing the whole job for not craving. So why crave? There's sometimes very much anxiety that let me come out of all everything and just go to cessation or go nibbana, whatever stages will come at this stage, because mind wants some or the other experiences. But that is not in your hand. It is very impersonal. It will come only because of certain causes and conditions. These causes and conditions, yes, again and again told us. What are the causes and conditions? What we will do. Again, because by completely surmounting the base of nothingness, Sariputra entered upon and abided in the base of neither perception nor non-perception. He emerged mindful from that attainment. Having done so, he contemplated that the stages had passed, ceased, and changed. Thus, so indeed, these states, having not having been, come into being, having been, they vanish. Regarding those states, he abided unattracted, unrepelled, independent, detached, free, disassociated, with a mind rid of barriers. He understood there is an escape beyond, and with the cultivation of that attainment, he confirmed that there is. So this is the stage of neither perception or non-perception. But before that, even in, as we have seen, there were causes and conditions had to be there. In the perception of base of nothingness and the unification of mind, base of nothingness also, you had to have this collected mind, the contact, the feeling, the perception, the volition. Perception is there till the stage of base of nothingness, because that time you are perceiving that there is nothing. Volition and mind, the zeal, decision energy, mindfulness, equanimity and attention. All these conditions had to be there. Causes were there, so the conditions came. The next came, because you cannot let go of awareness or going into thoughts, because now you have reached this stage. We have to keep doing 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours, and then only you enter into. And when you will enter, that again is not in your hands. So whenever the causes and conditions come rightly ripened, then you enter into. So do not crave for any stages for these experiences, because they will arise and pass away. The more you crave for these experiences, the more you're away from all this. So just learn to relax. Whatever is happening, recognize, release, relax, smile. If you are with this base foundation of what Bhante has given us, then you really go very easily into these, you can dive into all these deep stages of your mind experiences. What happens in this base of perception, of neither perception or non-perception, is that we can give an example, like you have gone into deep ocean and there are bubbles over there. When the bubbles, they get ripened, they come up and they become thoughts. This is the example very much given by Acharya Delson, that I really like it. In this stage, at this stage of perception, neither perception or non-perception, you are with the bottom of those bubbles. They're still yet to ripen. You go to that stage, and you're not able to recognize why there is neither perception, because you're not able to recognize what is happening. Those are the formations, the sankharas. You reach to that level where the sankharas are yet to take the birth. The sankharas are still yet to take the birth. You go to that level where they are there in the dormant form. And there where you go, whatever is happening, you will not be able to recognize what thought patterns are coming in your mind or whatever is happening. You will not be able to recognize because of the deep unripened sankharas, formations. There you keep on relaxing yourself. That is a stage where you have to do nothing. Just observe whatever is happening. And all the sankharas, even before they give a birth, they are diffused. The bomb, before it has been blast, they get diffused to that very early stage. And this is how all the sankharas get diffused. And then again the time and conditions come up. Then you reach, very fortunately, you will reach the Nibbana Dhatu, where all the sankharas are burnt out. at a very early stage. That is why this becoming objective with the base of being relaxed is very important, because at this stage of perception, non-perception, you have reached the very underlying stages of formations of your sankharas, conditionings. And that is why you're not able to recognize them, because they have not come into the thought pattern. This thought has come, or this craving has come in my mind, or there's ill will, or there's aversion. Because when it comes, you recognize that there is ill will in my mind because of your experience. You have the perception of it. So here there is neither perception or non-perception, because you have gone to that level of sankharas, the very bottom level of sankharas, which are still in the bubble form. They are not arisen up and become a thought. And this is where you reach a stage where your mind is quiet mind. It is quiet mind, or you can as still mind. Here at this stage also, you have to just relax. Keep relaxing. Because if you start seeing, what is happening? Why I'm not able to recognize what is happening in my mind, means perception has started. Means there is a craving. What is there? There's a curiosity. So again, there's a craving. At this stage, again, you have to go back, cycle back, go to start radiating equanimity. Because equanimity has reduced, it has gone. That is why again the craving, little craving has started. What is happening? Why these thoughts are? Which are these thoughts coming up? Why there's a random thoughts coming up from nowhere? Then again you have to relax, take a step back. Always take a step back, relax, smile, and then start radiating equanimity. Again, when you go through, then you'll understand these stages will arise and they will pass away. So again, I'll read other suttas where after later stages, after the quiet mind, comes the still mind. But that is not, it's written here. So again, we'll read about this. Again, because by completely surmounting the base of nothingness, Sariputra entered upon and abided in the base of neither perception and nor non-perception. He emerged mindful from that it. In that attainment, he will not be able to say anything. All these stages, when he came out of those stages, then when he recalled, then because in that stage you are not able to do anything, you are not able to perceive anything. If you perceive, that means you are not into this stage of neither perception or non-perception. So this is a stage where you have to learn to relax and just observe, which is a little more difficult to sit and observe. He emerged mindful from that attainment. Having done so, he contemplated that the states that he had passed ceased and changed. Again, this stages ceased and changed. Thus, so indeed, these states not having been, they were not there in the before. Come into being, they come into being. Having been, they vanish. Everything arising and passing is there. Regarding those states, he abided unattracted. This is again very important. You have to be disenchantment. You have to not take interest into all these stages, because the moment you take interest, the craving starts. It is so subtle. See, abided unattracted, unrepelled, independent, detached, free, disassociated, with the mind rid of barriers. There were no barriers. There was no craving, neither hatred, neither doubt, neither restlessness, neither sloth and awe. So they were rid of barriers, these stages. He was very much mindful about all these stages. It was all independent, not dependent on anything. Very much independent. So everything, the dependent origination stops here. It is all independent. So detached, free. He's free from all these stages. He's just observing. He understood there is an escape beyond. From at this stage, he understands. Even the sankharas can be reduced at this stage. Once those are reduced, there is an escape. There is an escape from here from this binding of formations, sankharas. We are binded by dependent originations. So this is where he can get the escape. He saw the gateway to escape, where all the sankharas, before they give the fruit, you can delete them by just observing and relaxing. There is an escape beyond, and with the cultivation of that attainment, he confirmed that there is again because by completely surmounting the base of neither perception nor non-perception, Sariputra entered upon and abided in cessation of perception and feeling, and his stains were destroyed by seeing with wisdom. Completely surmounting the neither perception, non-perception. When he entered and he was into that stage, Sariputra entered upon and abided in the cessation of perception. There was a cessation of because there was no memory. Before it came, he was relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. Just whatever he was happening, he was just observing. And because there was no happening, so there was no perception. Cessation of perception, because there was no memory at all. And feelings. Feelings, again, by feeling you react, craving, pleasant or unpleasant, or neither pleasant. So he was out of all that. Cessation was there. There was no feeling. And these taints were destroyed by his sing with wisdom. So the taints were destroyed. That this pleasant feeling is there. I want it. Unpleasant means I do not want it. Means both are cravings. So the craving towards the feelings were destroyed because there was no perception towards it. He emerged mindful from that atonement. Having done so, he recalled the states that had passed, ceased, and changed. Thus, so indeed, these states, not having been, come into being, having been, they vanished. Regarding those states, he abided unattracted. What is to be attracted towards all these states? They arise and they pass. Unrepelled, independent, detached, free, disassociated with the mind rid of barriers. He understood there is no escape beyond. And with the cultivation of that attainment, he confirmed that there is not. Then he said, even after perception, non-perception, there is still something to come. Bhikkhus, rightly speaking, were it to be said anymore, he had attained mastery and perfection in noble virtue, attained mastery and perfection, noble concentration, that is collected mind, attained mastery and perfection in noble wisdom, attained mastery and perfection in noble deliverance. It is of Sariputra, indeed, that rightly speaking, this should be said. So then, Buddha explains, Sariputra, he really appreciated all the stages. And he also appreciated that he was not, though he attained perfect noble virtues and everything, he was not attached to all those things. He knew that the arising and passing is there. And this, when it goes deep into your experiential knowledge, see, when we listen to the arising, passing, we keep listening. There's anitya, anatma, dukkha. But when you really experience the experiential, that is bhavana maya pragya, experiential wisdom is very important. And only through these stages, you go through this experiential wisdom. All this, what we are listening and reading, they are all Shruttamaya Pragya or Chintamaya. It is on intellectual level. But only with the experience of truly experiential knowledge. And that wisdom, when it comes, it is so impermanent. This is so suffering, just arising, passing, just arising, passing. It is so impersonal. Then the real insight starts, and everyone becomes perfect in everything, in noble virtue, Why will anyone break any Shilas when they know everything is so impermanent? Why will anyone break any of those, speak lies or do other things? No, they will not, because they know there is no base only for all those things. So this has to come through, because the I, me, mine, when you really know that this is so impersonal, what is to say I about anything? Then why will anyone have these ego issues? But this has to come through only experiential wisdom. It doesn't come by intellectual wisdom. Bhikkhus, rightly speaking, were it to be said to anyone, he is the son of the Blessed One, born of his breast, born of his mouth, born of the Dhamma, created by Dhamma, and the hair into the Dhamma. Not a hair in the material things. It is of Sariputra indeed, that rightly speaking, this should be said. So he said, see, he is the son of the Blessed Ones. Because of all these virtue things, of all these attainments, and of his behavior and everything, that shows into the behavior pattern. And everyone can go to this stage. It's not only about Sariputra. If you are really keen, if you are trying very hard, not very hard, I will say, sincere, not serious, but sincere meditation. And then, of course, everyone can attend these stages, but it has to be continuous practice. What happens that we go through a course and we get all these experiences, but after coming from the courses, again we are into the mundane life, and again we are doing the things not necessary. I will give an example. I would like to share with you an example about these stages. When you come to know that, I will just complete this. Dhamma, not a hair into the material life. It is of Sariputra indeed that rightly speaking he should be said. Bhikkhus, the matchless wheel of Dhamma, set rolling by the Tathagata, is kept rolling rightly by Sariputra. So he said, okay, what Tathagata has started rolling the wheel of Dhamma, the Sariputra is also rolling the wheel of Dhamma in the same way. That is what the Blessed One said. The bhikkhus were satisfied and delighted in the Blessed One's words. So now what is the time? 4:20. I think next time I will share that example, not now. Any questions from your side?
Mrs. Manjula ji, is the story very long?
No, it's not very. It's a what you can say, not stories. It's an example. Then after this stage, once reads the Nibbana Dhatu, once you go through this stage and you feel the Nibbana, then you go into the stream enter Anagami, Saddagami, and Saddagami, then Anagami, and then Arahant. So I will just like to what you call as an example of what you say, simile. What do you call that? Not able to understand. Okay. See, when you enter the stream enterer, there's an example like this. See, now you are lit a lamp. Okay, the wax is there, and now you have lit the candle. We know that we want to wax is all our karma sankharas. Huh? So wax is all our karma sankharas formations, and we now by the stage of stream enterer, because after once you become a nibbana, you feel that you become a stream enterer. You come to know by only Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. There is no doubt by meditation or taking refuge in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and meditation, of course, this wax will get over by burning that candle, right? Only by burning that candle, the wax is going to get over. So this is the stage of an stream enterer. Now he has understood that if I want to reduce the wax, I have to burn the candle. Then what happens? Again, you go into mundane life. This is happening, that is happening. We are pouring wax. Again, we are pouring more and more wax into that. Again, we are making new karmas. And sometimes this light goes off also. So again, the wax is accumulated. But sometimes we again lit. Again, the wax is reduced. But again, we are pouring the wax. It is happening at the stage of stream enterer. Then at the stage of Saddagami, what happens is This is just my example, and don't take it very seriously. That now the candle is always lit. We see that the candle is always lit. We are not allowing the light to go away. We are taking a lot of care that the lamp is burning, and automatically the wax will get over. So we are not diffusing, not the lamp is, I mean, the light is not getting light is not getting diffused, but we are also pouring wax. So Sattagami means you're continuously aware, but still we are making new karmas. Karmas are there. At the stage of Anagami, what happens is now we are more aware. We are not making more bad karmas. No more karmas we are making. And the light is also not diffused. So the light is there and the wax is there. Till this stage, we have to really take efforts. So the candle is burning and wax is there. Henceforth, now the causes and conditions, as it takes time to become an arahant, both the things have to go simultaneously. We have to take care that the light is not gone and the candle is burning. So the how much wax is there now, we cannot tell how much wax. So you cannot tell now tomorrow you'll become arahant. Till Anagami, I think we can take efforts that we are continuously aware, doing 6 hours, doing loving kindness, at least this much of efforts. If you do keep on doing continuously, your efforts are needed. And then at the stage of Anagami, both the things will happen automatically. Then you are not going to return back. So the wax and the light will consume the wax. But that much awareness and equanimity, both things have to be there. This is what I feel. Just sharing an example. Any questions?
Ah, thank you, Mrs. Manjula ji. That's very easy to understand. That simile, easy to understand and very
This word
clear.
I forgot. The simile. So
Simile,
no,
yeah.
yeah, the simile, the word. So these 4 stages, after perception, non-perception, then you stream enter, then the real effort starts. Actually, every time we have to continuously be in the effort. We cannot get loose into our efforts. And 6 hours is such a good formula Bhante has given. And we feel because of 6 hours and the relaxed step, Nibbana is really not possible. It is not there. Possible if you take
Mm,
efforts. Because
mm,
Bhante has made it really easy for us.
mm, mm, mm.
Basically introducing
Mrs.
relaxed step.
Yeah, yeah. Mrs. Manjula ji, can I just clarify just a bit more, just to make sure I understand clearly? So even if, let's say, we're not at any of the high levels, we're just living our day-to-day life, but we continuously remind ourselves to 6R anytime tension or tightness arise in the physical body first. What we really also training our mind is that habit of
Yes,
recognizing, so that when the causes and conditions arise for the mind to be ready to go through all the states, like you say,
yes,
because I find interesting when you mention at the point of neither perception nor non-perception, when the mind goes into boredom stage. I think just now, did I hear properly? You said that's when the real work start, because that in a way it's kind of like if we already, if the mind already has that automatic habit turned on to, without us even initiating it, it automatically will go into the relaxed step at that point. Then it goes through smoother, is what I'm,
yes,
is that correct? Ah, okay.
yes. Because
Mm.
boredom is the most subtlest craving. And even in our daily life, why
Ah,
we are going to all these other distractions? Only because of boredom.
ah,
If you're able to handle boredom, even in our mundane life, if you're able to handle
ah,
boredom, at that stage also you'll be able to handle boredom. Because boredom is,
oh,
it is very boredom. That is why even after reaching certain stage, people quit. meditation, because that boredom they are not able to handle. Till we are having new experiences, we are very happy. But all those
Uh,
experiences stop, they change, they will not
right.
arise. And there the real work starts. You really have to be very equanimous, very patient. Don't be impatient for new experiences in meditation also. Because for Arant, there has to be no craving, zero. Then only that stage will come where you will touch Nibbana.
Mm. Okay,
Yes.
okay. This is very interesting to understand. Okay. Yeah, yeah. And then it's, I guess, also very important to maintain that, how should I say? I don't know if curious is the right word,
Yes,
but
there is a curiosity. What's going on in my mind? Why there is nothing? Some
uh,
curiosity is there. This is the habit pattern of the mind. Na?
mm,
So from zero starts, this 6 hours is so important. Recognize that your mind is becoming curious. If that is inculcated right from the beginning, then at that Nibbana stage also 6 hours is going to be important. Because that has to be cultivated very nicely, relaxed step and releasing, relaxing, and taking a step.
mm,
Because there the curiosities are, again, you have to go back to equanimity,
uh,
radiate equanimity towards yourself and everything. Then again you can touch, because your mind, you never know, it plays games anywhere. Just before Nibbana
mm,
also it play game with you, because it doesn't want to have Nibbana, it wants craving. It has this identity of me, mine, and that is where you have to really diminish, and then only you enter into Nibbana. If me and my is there,
mm,
not I am experiencing such a pleasant phase of perception, neither none, that is perception itself. Then again, you're out of neither perception, not perception.
mm,
So you have to be very
mm.
careful, like walking on the razor blade. So now it's easy to read, easy to talk, easy to, but really, you
Yeah.
never know what will happen in that stage. So we have to be
Uh,
very careful.
but it's good to know, it's good motivation because like for those of us, let's say not very high practitioner, it's motivating in the sense that we know, okay, then we have like Mrs. Manjulaji, you just mentioned, just be very sincere. I mean, we don't have to take ourselves very seriously, but we have to be sincere in the practice, constantly putting in the 6 hours in every occasion that we can, mindfully remember, because with the understanding that, whatever we do now, it is building the habit pattern, so that when the condition arrives, hopefully, then it's more, rather than, go and then like stuck and then go and then stuck and
Yeah, that
then
is, as I told you, that we have lit the lamp, it goes again lit the lamp, you're putting the wax more. All this is happening now in our stages. So Saddhagami
mm,
stage, at least we can see that the lamp is still burning and we are not putting wax. Uh,
mm,
so
mm,
then they both work. So continuously being aware that you're mindful, you're continuously mindful, means the light is not there. And whatever formations are coming, you're just doing 6 hours. Means you're not putting more wax. The old wax will get burnt off.
yeah, very clear. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay,
And
let's
don't
share.
know if I don't know if anybody else has any question, because much time. Does anybody else have any question? Can be any question to the practice, right? Can be anything.
And if I'm not able to answer, you are there to answer.
Uh,
Any questions from
I'm
you guys?
I'm not I'm not I'm not I'm not qualified, but I'm still using forgiveness as my main object of meditation, because I have slightly different inclination for healing. So because I notice a lot of patterns. You can call it karma, formation, whatever. So the patterns are repeating itself in whether it's work relationship or whatever. So I have what do you call mission in inverted commas to change that habit pattern. So I'm using it's very effective actually for healing as well, because not only it changes the pattern, but it's also to heal the physical body. So there's less, yeah. So that's, yeah. So I'm not so much into, working out the jhanas, no, that partly because of blockages. That's how I got into the forgiveness in the first place. But I start to appreciate the 6 R's in the actual daily life practice itself. Because by doing that again and again, then when it comes to the formal sitting, that's when it's then only it's like, this is how it works, kind of thing. So it has to be in the daily.
In your daily life, every day you do 6 hours, 6 hours, then this has to be imbibed.
Yeah. But it takes time. It is a gradual process anyway.
Yes, very much. But it is a lovely thing,
Sadhu,
6 hours. You're directly at the mental level. Directly at the mental level.
Sadhu.
Shall we share merits?
Mm.
Sharing merits. By suffering once, be suffering free, and the fear struck fearlessly. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Basically, I have never ever talked online. So, I mean, this is the first time when there is no audience, and at least I can see you sometimes. But then talking on the computer, I've never done that. I've never. And this opportunity you have given me, so I'm very thankful about that.
Sadhu. Thank you so much. Hopefully you can join again and talk to us again.
Yes.
Happy weekend. Happy week, everybody. Take care. Take good health. Take care of your health. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.